Hey there, folks. Welcome to another episode of Sarcastic Recaps. Today, we're diving into Clash of the Titans. Once upon a cosmic time, when humans and gods were still finding their cosmic parking spots, there were these flashy beings known as the Titans. They were like the universe's very own Diva Squad until their own offspring, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, decided to stage a coup. Zeus, the smooth talker of the bunch, managed to sweet-talk Hades into crafting a creature with his powers. This creature had to be so tough and nasty that it could take down its own parents. And so, from the depths of Hades' imagination and flesh, for some reason, the Kraken was born. After the Titan beat down, it was power-sharing time for the bros. Zeus snagged the skies, Poseidon got the seas, and Hades... Well, Hades got stuck with the eternal job of babysitting the gloomy underworld thanks to a clever trick by Zeus. Then Zeus had this bright idea. Let's make humans, and they'll pray to us, keeping us immortal. Hades, on the other hand, went the fear route to beef up his divine status. So yeah, that's the family business. But as time ticked away, things got real messy down on Earth. Zeus's perfect world started to feel more like a nightmare. People began asking, why is Dad putting us through this? Trust in the gods was on a nosedive, and the mortals were itching for a showdown. Yep, you guessed it. This movie's all about that impending god versus mortal smackdown. Buckle up. So we zoom in on this poor, unlucky fisherman. He's bobbing in a stormy sea, minding his own business. And then, out of nowhere, he spots this creepy coffin-like box drifting his way. But what's inside is even more bizarre. A dead mom clutching her lucky-to-be-alive newborn. Our friendly fisherman takes the kid in his arms, probably thinking, great, now I've got a tiny mouth to feed. Meanwhile, there's this mysterious lady nearby spying on the whole scene. So time flies, and the kid's all grown up now, rocking the name Perseus. But wait, there's more drama. The fisherman's wife is expecting another bundle of joy. And you can bet teenage Perseus is worried that he'll be kicked off his favorite child pedestal. But surprise, surprise, his folks reassure him that their family bond is unbreakable, even with a new addition. Fast forward to a time when us humans are really giving the gods a hard time. We're rebelling left and right, toppling statues, and just generally being a pain in the divine backside. Meanwhile, our buddy Perseus is out on a fishing trip with the fam. But here's the kicker. Their nets are coming up emptier than a library during a zombie apocalypse. Dad's all like, the gods are angry at us, and Mom's trying to be the voice of reason saying, well, at least we're still breathing. So there's Perseus, stuck in the middle of this family debate about gods and hunger, when out of nowhere, they stumble upon this giant statue of Zeus getting a beatdown. Who's behind this act of artistic destruction? Well, it's the soldiers of Argos taking orders from their king to smash up the place. But wait, there's a plot twist. From the depths of the sea, these bat-winged creatures shoot up into the sky and go all attack of the Titans on those poor soldiers. Perseus and his family, already scared stiff, are like deer caught in headlights watching these freaky bird creatures wiping out the soldiers. But wait, it gets crazier. Those birds fuse into one and bam, it's Hades, Mr. Underworld himself. He's pretty ticked off about the statue situation, and without so much as a howdy-do, he gives their boat a little nudge, sending the whole family into the deep blue sea. Perseus goes all-action hero, but guess what? He's the only one left standing. Perseus, the sole survivor of the bird battle, gets an express ticket to the palace. But don't pop the champagne just yet, because King Ego sees this as a triumph and orders a grand party. His better half joins in the fun and throws some divine shade at Zeus. And then guess who crashes the shindig? Yep, it's Hades again, making a dramatic entrance. He sucks the youth right out of Queen Ego, turning her into the Crag Keeper's cousin. Perseus, our hero with questionable decision-making skills, tries to pick a fight with Hades. But a lady, let's call her the voice of reason, stops him. Hades plays it cool, offering the palace folks a choice. Serve up their princess on a silver platter or unleash the Kraken on Argos. Tough choice, right? Hades leaves the king with a 10-day deadline to make a tough decision. Then he gives Perseus an identity crisis, dropping the son of Zeus bombshell before vanishing into the underworld. Perseus is left scratching his head while everyone else quickly plays detective and figures out he's a demigod, a hybrid of god and mortal. They throw them into the slammer and decide that torture might be the best way to squeeze out some helpful info. Meanwhile, the princess, the poster child for self-sacrifice, tries to intervene. She's all ready to offer herself as the main course if it means her people get a pass. But the king is like, nope, not on my watch. Enter Io, the lady with a knack for being at the right place at the wrong time. She waltzes into Perseus' prison cell, and it turns out she's the same woman who witnessed the fisherman scooping baby Perseus out of the sea and later preventing him from attacking Hades. What a multitasker. Io comes with a story, of course. She's your average mortal who once turned down the advances of a god. In return, she got the gift of a never-ending life, which she insists isn't all it's cracked up to be. You see, she's been around for nearly a millennium, and she's seen more heartbreak than anyone should. But here's the kicker. She knows everything about Perseus, his mom, and the whole floating in a coffin saga. We rewind several years. There's this king who fancies leading a little rebellion against the gods, but Zeus, the god who has a soft spot for humans, decides to teach this king a lesson in style. So Zeus pulls off some sneaky body swap move, disguises himself as the king, and, well, things get steamy with the queen. King returns, finds his wife is pregnant, and guess who the alleged baby daddy is? Furious, he stuffs her into a coffin and tosses it into the ocean, where she, conveniently, gives birth to none other than our hero. Now Perseus, with his juicy family history in his pocket, wants to take down Hades for payback. Io spills the kraken-sized beans. It turns out Hades isn't all that invincible when his aquatic pet goes down. Perseus, armed with this golden nugget of knowledge and a sword that's just itching for some action, eagerly joins the Argosian monster hunting squad. Time zips by like herms on a caffeine rush, and it's not long before Perseus is put to the ultimate sword-swinging test. The chief in command, clearly in need of some entertainment, challenges our hero. Perseus, with his divine bloodline, initially fumbles but swiftly recovers, leaving everyone flabbergasted by his sword-fighting talents. Now let's meet Perseus' humble stepfather, who's traded in his royal robes for a cozy spot in a gloomy cave. Hades, the divine schemer himself, pays this ex-king a visit. He spills the cursed beans, revealing his cunning plan to cozy up to Zeus by taking out Perseus when he's at his lowest. Since this former monarch also has a bone to pick with, Zeus decides to give him a makeover, turning him into a full-fledged demon and sending him on a mission to eliminate Perseus. Meanwhile, Perseus, our intrepid explorer, he discovers a sword and some fancy flying horses, compliments of dear old dad, Zeus. It's a godly yard sale. Oddly, Perseus passes on the sword and the sleek black horse. Maybe he prefers walking. Suddenly, chaos strikes as a soldier's cry pierces the air. Hades' demonic squad pays a surprise visit, definitely not for tea. One demon pounces on Perseus, but he defends himself expertly. Joined by soldiers, they give the demon a makeover, starting with a dramatic left-hand amputation. They send it limping, then split into teams to hunt any more unwelcome guests. The demon makes its exit, but the soldiers aren't out of the woods yet. They stumble upon a colossal sand-dwelling scorpion, because, that's straight from the history books. Cue an epic showdown where many soldiers meet their untimely end. Perseus narrowly dodges a nasty scorpion sting thanks to Io's superhero timing. Just when they think they've won, surprise, surprise, more giant scorpions. But hold on, these oversized critters suddenly freeze all eyes on a random dude nearby. Yep, it's Jin, stealing the show. These creatures, once your average humans, are now BQ charcoal. They're stuck in human-shaped bodies thanks to some dark magic. The commander isn't exactly throwing a welcome party, but desperate times call for strange alliances. They cautiously agree to a truce for the night. Suddenly, Perseus hits the deck, courtesy of his Hades-infected arm. It's party time for Venom, apparently. In the safety of his tent, the Jinn leader whips out some black magic to fix him up. Misunderstandings lead to a miniature brawl, but the Jinn sets the record straight. These folks have been waiting eons to see the gods tumble, and they're putting their bets on Perseus. With the morning sun comes an exotic ride on scorpions like it's the latest trend. By evening, they've reached the scenic Garden of Stygia, the Kraken's old stomping grounds, where it once gave the Titans a serious beating. They venture further into this desolate wasteland to meet the Stygian witches. Io's advice: tread carefully and ask only what's necessary. Inside a creepy cave, they find these three lovely ladies. One of them even has a nifty eyeball that works like a universal remote, except it's for seeing things. Unfortunately, the scent of fresh human blood sends the witches into a frenzy. Perseus, quick on the uptake, swipes the eyeball, using it as a bargaining chip to release his comrades. The witches finally spill the beans. The only Kraken-killing recipe includes a dash of deep Medusa. You see, back in the day, Poseidon, the sea god, had the hots for a beauty named Medusa. She, not feeling the fishy love, asked the goddess Athena for help. But Athena decided to be a buzzkill and turned her into a stony stunner. Now even the Kraken, that sea monster, can't handle a peek at Medusa. One look, and you're a statue. Soon after, our gang heads down to the underworld to fetch Medusa. On the way, Perseus has a surprise family reunion with his dad. Zeus offers him a VIP pass to heaven with all the divine perks, but Perseus, determined to finish what he started, declines. He does, however, graciously accept a shiny gold coin from his old man. Fast forward, and they're at the sea gateway to the underworld. Our crafty Jinn buddy uses that gold coin to bribe the ferryman. They're granted express entry rights to Medusa's cozy cell. Io, unfortunately, has to sit this one out because it's a strict, no women allowed club in there. She leaves them with a warning. No dude has ever left that place in one piece. As our fearless group strolls into the prison, they're greeted by an eerie, almost mocking feminine giggle. Perseus, being the quick thinker he is, tells everyone to keep their peepers down and weapons ready. But oh snap! Out of nowhere, arrows start raining down and poor Commander takes one right in the chest. Things escalate quickly as demons swoop in for the attack. Perseus nearly has a close encounter with a fiery pit, but manages to pull off a last-minute save for him and Jin. Medusa has her eyes set on two young soldiers, and alas, their curiosity gets the better of them. Next on her list is Jin, but hold up. Thanks to his nifty black magic mojo, he gets one last shot at her before meeting his stony fate. Commander seizes this moment too and stabs her before turning. Now Medusa's looking worse for wear, and Perseus seizes the chance. With a swift swing of his sword, he beheads her, and you'd think things are looking up, right? Not so fast. Poor Io, who's been watching this chaos unfold, gets a stabby surprise from Perseus' stepfather. But before she shuffles off this mortal coil, Io hands Percy the fancy sword he got from Zeus. Finally, he decides it's time to put that blade to good use and takes down that pesky demon. Plus, he decides the flying horse isn't such a bad deal after all. Meanwhile, up on Olympus, Hades pays Zeus a little visit. He's got this brilliant idea. Unleash the Kraken and hope his kiddos will start praying again. Zeus, perhaps feeling a bit too generous, gives Hades the green light to go wild. Back in Argos, things are taking a weird turn. The locals have gone all in on this cult thing, and their grand idea is to offer up the princess as a little snack for the Kraken. So with a dramatic entrance, the Kraken joins the party and starts giving Argos a real estate shakeup. Zeus, however, has a sudden moment of panic. He thought these prayers would be a real ego boost, but it turns out his offspring are just plain terrified. Oops. Hades, being the charmer he is, shares a good laugh at Zeus' expense. He thinks his brother's been a real blockhead, and he's loving it. Meanwhile, back in Argos, the big sacrifice plan takes an unexpected twist. Instead of just munching on the princess, the Kraken unleashes its gang of bat-like buddies. Chaos ensues. Just when things are looking their bleakest, here comes our hero Perseus, scaling a bridge with Medusa's noggin and Tau. He aims that stone-cold gaze at the Kraken and bam! The colossal creature turns to stone along with Medusa and, unfortunately, the princess, who plunges into the sea. Tough break for the princess, but hey, at least she's not fish food. Hades decides to appear in his weakened state. Perseus, wielding his snazzy magical sword, gives his uncle a one-way ticket back to the underworld. Hades is banished for all eternity. With that out of the way, Perseus saves the day, rescuing the princess and bringing her safely ashore. She's all gratitude and pledges to be a top-notch queen for the nation. And in a surprise twist, Zeus, Perseus' dear old dad, pops in for a visit. He offers Perseus a choice: stay human or go divine. Perseus, being the rebel, gives a figurative finger to the gods. The movie wraps up with Zeus gifting Perseus with a resurrected Io. Thanks, Dad, I guess. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more entertaining content. Turn on those notifications and give us a thumbs up to keep this channel rolling. Thanks for tuning in.